Update, me 23 male and my girlfriend 23 female. She's pregnant and people are telling me to prepare for the worst. Original post. Edit. I just logged in and holy, I don't even know what to say. I didn't expect to get so many responses. I'll try and reply, but I just want everyone to know how much I appreciate all of this. I scanned through some of these replies and you guys are awesome. I'm really touched that so many of you shared your stories with me and gave me all that advice. I'm also a little ashamed for letting those stupid comments get to me in such a way. I'm taking the day off with Nita today and I'll show her all of these comments. Thank you so much. I'm living a nightmare when this was supposed to be the best day of my life. Our lives. I don't know how relevant this shit is, but I had a terrible childhood. My parents tried to sell me when I was 4 for drugs. Yes. I was then taken away from them and bounced through the foster system until I was 15. When I was adopted by a man who already had a biological son and another child. He's the eldest in our family. They're a nice family and they offered me shelter and love. But I guess I was a little too damaged and I acted out. Had a huge fallout with them and moved out when I was 18. We've reconciled and are on very good terms now, but my point is that I never had a constant parental figure in my life. I've always been on my own. Then I met Nita and fell in love when we started dating. It started with casual hookups and then transformed into a relationship. And basically, she saved me. I love her more than anything. We got pregnant and it wasn't planned and we were terrified but happy. I knew our lives were going to change, but I didn't see the bad stuff coming. The first trimester was hell and Nita lost 15 pounds because she couldn't keep anything down. She was in constant pain and nausea and miserable. We thought, okay, first trimesters can be really awful. This is her first pregnancy and none of us really knew how to handle it properly. Near the end of the first trimester, we discovered that she has preeclampsia. It was explained to us how dangerous that is, and we were given a list of things to do so we could have a relatively normal pregnancy and keep it at a low risk. Nita has been on bed rest since then, going crazy and growing depressed. The only time I see her smiling is when her baby kicks. She's tired and drained all the time, and she's 8 months pregnant now. She's getting worse and her doctor is saying we may have to induce the labor early. And everyone is telling me to be prepared for the worst, that I could lose both of them, that I will probably lose one of them, and I'm so effing terrified that I can't think straight. I'm pissed off. I don't know what the F I did to lose everything I love all the effing time. And I can see how worried and sad Nita is, and I don't know how to handle this. How do I handle this? I want to convince her that everything will be okay, but I can't convince myself. I don't know what to do. I've been by her side all the time. We both really want a family, this baby, even if it's early to have kids. I'm so angry because everyone keeps telling us that we are making a mistake by having a baby now. And we both told them all to F off because who the hell says that? We're having a girl and that is very much wanted. And I don't know how to make it all right, how to confront my girlfriend, how to not crumble in front of her and scare her even more. I believe we can pull through this, that it's not as bad as they make it look. But it's like we have an entire world against us and I'm lost. I'm scared I'll lose my girls. I'm scared I won't know how to be a father. I never had one. I'm terrified here. Now for the comments before reading the update. And everyone is telling me to be prepared for the worst. Everyone is giving you terrible advice. Don't prepare for the worst. Preeclampsia, when diagnosed early, is very manageable and lots of people give birth just fine with it, even if they are induced early. You will not probably lose one of them. That's insane. I work in connection with the healthcare field and I can tell you whoever is giving you advice is crazy. Listen to her OBGYN. That's the expert. OP says that's an effing relief to hear, thank you. I was in the same situation and in and out of the hospital the last month under observation. Pregnancy for me was like your girlfriend and it was miserable. We induced at 37 weeks. Labor was longish but normal. I and my baby are totally safe. Modern medicine has some great technologies to offer. We were both monitored closely the entire time, and if I had needed emergency cesarean for any reason, it could have happened in minutes, but it didn't. I had a great delivery, excellent recovery, and the baby is totally healthy. This isn't Downtown Abbey. preeclampsia, especially sight early and monitored closely as you guys are doing, is a very standard complication. I highly recommend hiring a doula. They will likely charge somewhere between $500 and $1,000 US, but that was the best money my husband and I could have spent during that time. Seriously, people really overreact with this stuff, and I'm so sorry that they are scaring you. But really, don't pay attention to anyone who isn't in possession of your wife's medical records and also a medical degree. I had preeclampsia, though it was diagnosed a bit later for me, but it was bad enough that I was admitted to the hospital on bed rest and induced a little early, and my labor still went perfectly. They even let me deliver at my local rural cottage hospital. They send high-risk cases to the city 250 kilometers away. The only thing that preeclampsia really affected beyond the fact that I was induced because of it is that the doctors really pushed the epidural on me because it lowers the blood pressure. Had my blood pressure been higher, I would have had a C-section. All of these things are everyday things in the world of an OBGYN. And before you worry further, my baby was perfectly healthy right from the start and is now a bright and happy 9-month-old. For some reason, pregnancy brings out the worst in, some people who have been through it before, and they just try to scare the ever-living shit out of you. I have no idea why people are this way about it, but it's almost universal. But people do this every day. I start refusing to listen and asking people to stop when they'd bring up pregnancy and birth horror stories to me while I was pregnant. My mother gave me the advice to do this when I got pregnant, and it saved my mental and emotional health big time. The doctors your wife sees has seen it all a million times. If there was any reason to worry, they would be the ones to clue you in. Even then, they would have some plans to share. All I can say is, even with a perfect pregnancy and delivery, your girlfriend would still be worried and scared. Staring down childbirth is effing terrifying no matter what we expect or what we know going into it. All we know about it is what we hear. It will hurt, it will change everything, etc. Fear is totally normal too. It sounds like you are doing lots to keep her comfortable and happy. You are doing a great job, and the hardest part will soon be done. And then you will have both your beautiful little baby to show for it. Enjoy these moments with just the two of you, and you will even feel better to be able to savor the new ones that come after your baby is here. Good luck and congratulations on your soon-to-be baby. Now for the update. I'm totally telling my baby about her story. Got a gift from a kind stranger tonight. Thank you for the gold. 2. I guess I should clarify that Nita and I are not out of friends completely, and that the comments our other friends were making all the time wasn't friendly advice to prepare ourselves in case something went wrong. Some of them heard preeclampsia and decided either my girlfriend or my baby would die, or I'd certainly lose both of them. I freaked out even with her doctor's words ringing through my mind that Nita was fine. It was brutal to consider the possibility I could lose my girls, especially when there was no need to consider that. Then when things were over, the same people who were so sure of death were suddenly sure that my girlfriend and baby would pull through no matter what. That hurt and pissed me off. Not to mention how much it hurt Nita, who didn't need to go through any more stress. I guess the reason I was freaking out so much in my last post was because I knew something was going to happen. Nah, I'm kidding. I was just freaking out. But 4 days after that post, Nita's water broke. She didn't even need to be induced. Our baby just decided she wanted out already. We were tense and scared, but everything went well, and now we're the parents of a healthy baby girl. Nita's health is also good, and her mood has improved drastically because she can finally let go of that bed rest rule. Our baby is sweet and tiny and loud, and holding her for the first time was the most amazing thing I have ever experienced. We've been adjusting to parenthood ever since, and it's been great. Baby cries a lot, and I know the crying will eventually drive us a little crazy, but for now, I'm just happy my baby has lungs strong enough to wake up the entire neighborhood. A few of her friends have called wanting to check up on Nita and the baby. One of them told me they just knew everything would be all right, and I couldn't help myself then, and said that his previous words to me on Nita's pregnancy had been, "Shit, man, you're going to be strong because this is probably going to end badly." I told him to F off and leave me and my girls alone. So this is it, I guess. I wanted to update because you guys were really good to us and calmed us down. I'm sorry I couldn't reply to everyone back then, but I appreciate all the advice and responses. You guys shared your stories with us and it meant a lot. Be sure of that. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my fiance and he ends up getting cut out of his grandma's will? Plus update. Original post. Am I the a-hole? 22 female broke up with my fiance, 23 male, and he ended up getting cut out of his grandma's will. This is not my main account. I just had to get this out there, and my friends and fiance know my personal account. A little backstory is that my fiance and I have known each other since we were in elementary school and grew up with each other. We both come from religious families. This is important for later. When we graduated high school, I chose to go to college and he went to the military. At that point, we were dating for 2 years, and then we got engaged when I was 21 and he 22, so a year ago. We were doing the long distance thing because he was stationed in a different state. The plan was that I was going to graduate college and then go down there and find a job where he is stationed. A couple of months ago, I got a call from a friend who lives down there, and he told me that my fiance is dating another girl and has been for months now. He sent me pictures and her social media. My fiance was coming home for a couple of weeks for my graduation. I thought it would be a good time to talk this out rather than over the phone. When he came back, I sat him down and asked him. He did not deny it. He said that he likes her but loves me. I am heartbroken. We have been together for years now, and he did this. I called off the engagement and broke up with him. Now here is where the religion thing comes in. I was raised with and I didn't have sex before marriage, and he was the same. I know some people think that this is weird. It is just how I was raised. We had this talk when we got together about not having sex before marriage, and we both agreed to wait. Well, he decided when he was down there, he would get his girlfriend to take care of his needs. After we broke up, I talked to my parents about it, and the change of plans that I call his family and talk to them. It is not unusual for me to talk to his family because I help his sister, 16 female, if she has a problem or just needs a girl to talk to that is not her parents or a friend of hers. So I called and they invited me to dinner. I went and told them what happened because he did not. He just said that we were having a fight. The grandma was there and she was pissed off. I used to go over every week to play mahjong with her because I love to play, and no one else in her family likes to. She kept begging me to take back her grandson and that she would force him to make up with me. I didn't put much thought into it because she was mad. A couple of days later, he was blowing up my phone with calls and messages. His grandma is cutting him out of the will unless he gets back together with me and we get married. I told him no because he hurt me, and nothing he can say will make me take him back. No, I will not be doing that. His family is really well off and has a very successful business. So when his grandma dies, he is supposed to take over, but if he is cut out, he cannot, and he will get nothing. He even tried to pay me to marry him. I was talking to some of my friends and they think that I'm an a-hole and should just forgive him and get married to him just so that he can get back in the will. Because I am just mad now and this will ruin his life. And think about him and his future. So many of my friends are saying this. I'm starting to think about it. What do you think? Am I the a-hole? Now for the update. Thanks everyone who gave me advice, and a lot has been happening. A lot of people asked for an update, so here it is. So first I talked to his grandma. I told her I will not be marrying her grandson, that I did not feel comfortable with that being a requirement for him to get back into the will. I also told her I would be available to play mahjong with her because I enjoy playing with her, just I will not be coming over when he is there. She was good with that arrangement. When we were talking, she told me that just because he cheated, that was not the only reason why he got cut out of the will. She said that she was sorry for telling him that. But even if he did end up marrying me, he would still not be in the will. Instead, I would. She was telling me that this was the last straw. So that is why he got cut out. He did a lot of other stuff just before. I just don't know about it, but her and the rest of the family did. I was talking about it and I asked her, why did I not know about this when I was with him? Apparently they thought I knew. She did tell me that there was a way for him to get back into the will without him marrying me, But it will take a long time, and even then it will not be the same. We finished up our talk and then scheduled some time to play. I know some people will say that I should cut ties with the family, but I have known them for so long that I consider them my family, and I've actually enjoyed playing with the grandma and being there for his sister. Next, what happened was as I talked to my so-called friends. I have some friends that supported me right from the beginning, but the ones that called me the a-hole, I asked them why they said all that stuff. Well, one of them thought that if I married him, I would help her pay off her college loans. Then a couple of others, apparently my ex talked to them. Apparently they were promised a spot in the company, or their boyfriends were. When he took over, if I didn't marry him, that was not going to happen. So it all boiled down to greed. I told them that they are not true friends of mine, and they were just using me for their own gain. They did not care about me and my feelings, and that I never wanted to talk to them again. If they wanted me to marry him so bad, they should just marry him themselves. At this point, I was just mad, and I ended up yelling at them. I left and blocked all their numbers and blocked them on social media platforms that I have. Thank you everyone who has been telling me to drop them as friends. I ended up doing just that. One of the only bright sides to this is I got to see who my real friends were. Now it was time to talk to my ex. He called me asking to meet up for lunch. I decided to go because I figured at least I could get a free meal out of it and get some closure with the relationship. He let me choose the place. I chose a little restaurant where one of my good friends works, and I know if I needed to that they would help me out. Lunch came and he was talking to me about the will and getting married. He was asking if we could get married and have an open relationship, and he wouldn't care if I slept with anybody else. I told him no. He did not know I talked to his grandma before, and that I know what else happened. I laid into him and told him that is not what I believe in, and that he broke my trust and my heart, and that he was not treating me like a human being. I was about to leave without eating my food, but my friend packaged my lunch up, gave it to me and let me leave when he tried following me to continue talking. Even though I was done, my friend ended up blocking his path so he could not. When I left, he kept on calling when I blocked him. Before I blocked him, I told him never to talk to me again, and I am done with him. I plan to finish my degree and maybe go traveling and leave town for a little bit, and then maybe in a few years I'll find someone better. I will also take this time to think about my religion, like how a lot of people were trying to do, and figure out what my next step is. Thank you everyone for your advice. I don't know if this is how you saw it going, but a lot has happened in such a short amount of time. I will update if anything else happens. Story 3. I, 30 female, am obsessed with my fiance's 35 male ex, 31 female. My fiance and I have been together for 3 years now. We own a house together. We are getting married this summer, and we have a beautiful 6-month-old daughter. He treats me well, and I have never questioned his faithfulness. He is a great partner and father. There's just one issue, my secret and insane obsession with his ex. In the beginning of our relationship, he would talk about her more than I liked, and it didn't really seem like he was over her. They had been together for 5 years, and she broke up with him. They maintained a friendship, which I found odd. A series of annoying things happened involving her, including the below. I disclosed a threesome that I had in college, and he got so upset, he left my apartment. I later found out he called her to talk about it and was calling her babe. On our first vacation together, she wanted to talk to him about her new boyfriend, so he called her and they talked for over a half an hour. He was on the balcony of her hotel and I could hear the entire conversation, so I left the room and he got mad at me for it. He did disclose that he was going to talk to her and asked my permission, but I didn't feel I could tell him not to call her. On our way back from looking at houses to buy, he mistakenly called me her name. It was the only time it ever happened, but it was awful. We had been together for 7 months, too long for that to happen. We continued to get in spats over her, and it was truly the only issue we ever had in our relationship. At a dinner, I blew up on him for not deleting a photo of her on his Instagram. It was his most recent post, and he had never posted me, and I found it embarrassing. While he did delete the post, he also left me at the restaurant and told me I needed to stop being crazy about her or we're done. I flipped the switch right there and never again got upset about her. When he brought her up, I would listen to his stories and not react. However, I have been obsessed with her since. I search for any pics I can of her, and it has become an almost daily habit. I have no idea why I'm so threatened by her. He has made it very clear that they weren't right for each other. While she is beautiful, she is not more attractive than I am. Even after the baby, our bodies are pretty similar. He would complain about how she wasn't very smart, and career-wise, I am far more successful. We are much more compatible than they were, according to him. So why can't I let this go? I'm ashamed of my stalking, and I can't even fathom what he'd say if he knew that I was harboring this obsession. I have to let it go, but I don't know how. Any thoughts on this, or has anyone experienced anything similar? She will reach out here and there to comment on how beautiful our daughter is, or to wish him happy birthday. He did text her when her dad died, and he does show me their conversations, and it's always brief. Deep down, I must feel inferior to her or be jealous of something, but I don't know how to uncover what my problem is, and I'm worried that this will never go away. I want to be free of feeling this way. That's all for today. If you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you.